All right. I want to take a look right now at the United States and how long will these United States be united? So, with the thing that got me thinking about this was actually the Montana decision to ban TikTok. And I guess within Montana's borders, you won't be able to download the TikTok app after, I don't know if it's June 1st or January 1st or whatever. And then the way it would be enforced is, I guess the state would sue any app that allowed the download, like $10,000 per instance. But anyway, this creates like this specific line with business and I guess like just some other lines that I hadn't thought of before. Um, they're in Montana, but you could you could foresee a scenario if with our bullshit fucking left versus right idiocy that happens in our political system that Texas or California could definitely secede, right? If, let's say, an extreme right winger gets voted in, and then maybe California doesn't want anything to do with whatever's going on there, or Texas going the other way with the left wing. So let's look. The United States of America. How long will these states be united? Two court cards. Well, right away, this isn't giving me a timeline. But the root card is the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is anxiety. And this is also, she's kind of vengeful, you know? So we have this anxiety, like kind of anger filled sort of thing that is going on there that is the root. And that makes sense, at least as far as anything that would happen within the people. The politicians are all a bunch of fucking bought and sold puppets, right? So what they're going to do whatever they're going to do, and it's going to be probably universally bad for the people no matter what because that's the game that they've created there. But the people are filled with this anxiety, and the people are filled with this sort of vengeful energy. And it tends to all come down to this left versus right idiocy fucking garbage. So, the main card that comes out is the Page of Pentacles. So, the Page of Pentacles has basically found this new thing, and it's up to the page to incorporate this new whatever it is that they found. It's a skill or it's a new medium. I mean, in this case when we're talking about the TikTok stuff, this could be just the ability to incorporate the new technological world um, into oneself. I need to find out more about this page because this isn't telling me too much here. So let's just look on either side of the page. What's going on? Wow. Well, okay. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. Now, one thing I'm going to say. So we've got the anxiety and the Queen of Swords, but all of the cards that are showing up for the main body of the reading are Pentacles cards. The Pentacles cards tends to be about money. This is like job and that sort of thing. Now, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, this is spending time developing a new skill. It's learning by doing. And when this thing is reversed, it's the inability to learn. So it's either like not having the time or the space, or just not being able to. I mean, it's probably time and space, like not being able to dedicate any time to developing a skill that you're trying to develop. Here, the Page of Pentacles shows that it's kind of a new thing. Now, AI would fall into that, and pretty much all the new computer shit would fall into this group as well. Um, so here, it would really depend on people learning new skills. And as this moves forward, the reverse Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is abundance, and it's having enough money to do whatever it is that you want to do. And when this is upside down, you don't have the money to do shit. So the actual way that this works would be financial, um, even though at the root is all of this, anxiety and anger. The thing that would actually cause a split to happen would be about jobs and also job training, it looks like, the ability to learn the skills that the new world requires. And if you don't have those skills, then you pretty much aren't going to have anything. Now, this does show a difficulty when it comes to learning the new skills. So I guess what I ask here, because this kind of does set up a potential method for the states to come apart. And between now and the end of time, the states are going to come apart, right? But I'm just going to pull a one card for a yes or no, like, are we on some sort of brink of secession? And we get another fucking court card with the Page of Swords. What the Page of Swords would say to me is that the energy is probably there, but you have to look for it. Um, with the robotic eye zooming in on one thing in particular. So to me, this says that the cracks are there, but they're not big enough right now to shake the country apart. You would kind of have to look at them to see them. But now I'm going to pull a card to see the magnitude of this energy. Oof. And we get the Wheel of Fortune. So that's a big magnitude for sure. The Wheel of Fortune is also saying that this is going to happen like clockwork, and it's part of a bigger cycle. Okay. I mean, that makes sense to me. And it would probably have something to do with planetary movement or, I don't know, some other bigger universe cycle. Um, Geez. So, I'm going to pull one more card on the Wheel of Fortune. And here I'm not exactly looking for a timeline, but I guess more of a mechanism. And we get the Three of Pentacles. So it's again a Pentacles card. But the Three of Pentacles is showing collaboration. Now, the United States, theoretically, are a collaboration just like the Three of Pentacles. There's no clear leader, they kind of all work together. Um, and here, this same sort of cooperation is what drives the wheel. So, a few different energies would be working together to cause the fracture in the states. Looking at this, it looks like it's about skills and it's about money. But because these are all court cards, nothing in here is saying that it's imminent. And because they're court cards, people still have power within themselves to sort of direct this energy one way or another. Let's see. I'm going to pull a card for what I haven't looked at or what I haven't bothered to ask. And we get a Two of Cups. Interesting. So the Two of Cups is showing this union, like these two different energies in a perfect time coming together. Now, this to me is saying that it is less likely that individual states would secede than it is that the United States would become part of something else, some bigger country. Um, and let's just see the magnitude of that big country because we might go from the United States straight to a one world government. So let's just take a peek at that. I don't think we go directly to a one world government. Um, it would be, the United States becoming a part of something else first. But because it's the magician and not the world, there would be like a ladder, right? Now I'm going to take a peek at the timeline for that. So the fact that this is a minor arcana card would show sooner than later. And I mean, honestly, I would look at this as like 6 years. That would be really something. One more card wanted to come out, and it's the Death card. This one is pregnant, about to give birth. It's the previous child trying to crawl back up into her womb. So she sacrifices the old to make room for the new. It's interesting that when it came out sideways. Because if this thing turns upside down, then the old energy forces its way back in. But this just shows the conditions favorable for the birth of a new thing. But the old thing has to be sacrificed. All right. Timeline, looking at the 6 again. So this is a soldier in a war. Here's the burning city of conflict down here, and the soldier is like, this war will never end, so I'm just getting the fuck out of here. So this is probably the end of a war. And that would be the thing that would be the marker. So the end of a war is when the United States would become a part of something bigger, like another bigger country. So I'm going to pull a yes or no here and find out if this is the war in Ukraine. I wouldn't take the Knight of Cups as necessarily a yes, but I would take it as kind of a maybe. Um, One more wanted to come out. The reverse King of Wands, which is essentially a hypocritical leader, a terrible role model, and we got those everywhere. So that doesn't necessarily narrow it down. You could pretty much mention all of the world leaders for that. But is it the Ukraine war? No, I don't think so. I think there is a different war. And the end of this, maybe the Ukraine war becomes a part of this different war. But at the end of that, the United States becomes a part of something else. So the fracturing, according to this reading, the fracturing and the secession of the states and potential civil war within the United States because of that, it looks like that's not the way that it's going to go down on the current trajectory, right? So that's what we get here. And if you have any other angles you want me to look at it from, feel free to let me know. And I do readings on the Patreon channel as well. And if you would like to support me that way, which I highly recommend, it's as low as $5 a month. And I do a lot of readings on Patreon. You can request reading topics on Patreon and all of that. So do check that out. And thank you and peace.